So the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. Now, we know that quote as to be coming from Albert Einstein. Now, there's some debate as to whether that's true or not, but that's a topic for another day. The reason I bring it up is the Senate has brought up for the 9th time the House CR that was passed in September to fund the government. It failed again. 9 votes on the exact same bill, 9 failures. Now, they brought up the Democratic version of that same bill 8 times. It also failed. But they haven't brought up anything else, and there have been no negotiations when it comes to this government shutdown. In previous shutdown attempts, in previous funding deals, there would be actual negotiation. But that's not what's going on here. If Republicans were serious about opening the government and not just being insane by continuing to try to force Democrats to vote for the one bill they want, they would actually negotiate and say, okay, well, we can't give you permanent Affordable Care Act subsidies. We'll give you 5 years, and we'll give you 10% of the Medicaid cuts or something. There'd be a starting point. That hasn't happened yet. What they're hoping to do is just keep hitting Democrats over the head with this thing, and the Democrats get tired of fighting on it, and that they think they're losing the battle in the court of public opinion, and they vote for it. Now, I don't think that's going to happen. I think Democrats are holding pretty strong in this one because they have no reason not to. But Republicans have something else they could do. They could gut the filibuster and pass this around the Democrats. And they wouldn't need any Democratic support. They could do it. They're not, because they want to use the filibuster when they're back in the minority. But beyond that, they know if they gut the filibuster and pass it around the Democrats, then they're on the hook for the Affordable Care Act subsidies lapsing. They're on the hook for the Medicaid cuts. And they don't want to be on the hook for any of that. So they would rather have the government shut down, and they want the Democrats to pass this bill with bipartisan support, so that way when the Affordable Care Act subsidies lapse because they never negotiated anything, and when the Medicaid cuts hit because they didn't negotiate restoring them, they can say, well, see, Democrats voted in favor of that continuing resolution, so they're really to blame. They could have prevented it. This is all political theater from Republicans. They don't actually govern. They may legitimately be insane, if you go by that Einstein quote, because they keep doing the same thing. They're trying to find a way to blame somebody else for this shutdown when it is solely at the feet of Republicans, because they're not negotiating and they are not serious about governing. And lately, they've never been serious about governing when they're in power.